Hey everybody, Ian here. So first of all, welcome to 2021. Believe it or not, we're actually only 10 days into the new year. You would be forgiven if you thought that it was like already June, just because so much has already happened in the last week and a half, particularly in the world of US politics. As I'm sure most of you are aware by now, on January 6th, there was a siege on the US Capitol. That's the building that both of the houses of Congress do their work in, the House of Representatives and the Senate. But the Capitol building was beset upon by a crowd of angry Trump supporters who were trying to stop the Electoral College certification of President-elect Joe Biden's entirely legitimate election win. This was very much an assault on democracy, and this was a battering of the values of peaceful transfer of power that have always defined American politics, despite the fact that American politics has also been pretty messy for most of the time. But so following this, Donald Trump was permanently banned from all his social media accounts, including his famous Twitter account, because he was very much egging on these supporters. This wasn't just something that happened to occur. He was saying to them, like, go walk up to the Capitol and take back our country. He was using his platform to incite violence. And this has been widely criticized and denounced. And there's even talk about impeaching him again a second time, just to set a precedent saying that this is not okay. But so no matter who you are or what party you voted for, where you live, anything like that, I think it's hard to see these images and read these reports and not feel your heart sink. Not necessarily in a sad or a patriotic way, although I think most people did feel it in that sense, but just in a scared way. Even if you don't care about the news, if you don't pay attention to politics, you don't know who the speaker is, you don't know who that NATO guy is. This is all just still very depressing and upsetting. What happened to America? What happened to the world? When did everything become so chaotic every second of every day? There are rioters at the Capitol. Am I in danger? Do I need to worry about the safety of me or my friends or my kids? Because remember, as I'm sure all of you do, that this turbulent week and a half was preceded by one of the most chaotic years in recent memory. And the chaos of the year 2020 was itself preceded by one of the most turbulent 3 or 4 year periods in a century. And so I'm here to tell you this: don't panic. As easy as it would be, and as gratifying as it would feel in the moment, we cannot allow ourselves to lose control. I want you to think back to about mid-March, when COVID was first starting to get really, really serious. Everyone was panicking, and understandably. There's this unknown virus that's rapidly spreading across the world. Millions of people are losing their jobs every single week. Lockdowns are happening in every corner of the globe. It was a scary time. It seemed like no one was safe. But the way we reacted to it made it even worse. People hear that the world is ending. There's this new pandemic. It's time to panic. And so everyone rushes out to the grocery store to buy everything that they can. And then suddenly, within minutes, all of the shelves are empty at store A. And then there are 3 new customers who come in, and they see that the rows of empty shelves, and they panic. And so they all run out to stores B, C, and D, the first store they can think of, and stock up on everything they can. And then the 3 new customers who come into each of those 3 new stores are all gonna see the empty rows of empty shelves, and all rush out to stores E, F, G, H, I, J, and K, L, M. And so fear, panic, was able to spread exactly the same way that the virus did. We created a literal nationwide panic in March. There was an epidemic of panic. Everyone simultaneously shot up to 100 on the panic scale, which we never needed to do. No one ever needed to be at 100 on the panic scale at any point during COVID. We made it far worse in our imaginations than it ever needed to be in real life. And then this overreaction actually ended up hurting our response, at least somewhat, because there were a number of people who I think once they saw that they/we, depending on whether or not they had partaken, they saw that they/we had overreacted and assumed that since we didn't need to be at 100, we were perfectly safe at 0, which is also not true. We needed to be at a 55 the entire time. Not panicking, not going crazy, not losing our minds, but paying attention and taking it seriously. But we just couldn't see that. Fear clouded our collective judgment in the way that sadness and anger can cloud one's judgment. It's hard to take a step back and look at the bigger picture when the smaller picture is so insane and confusing all the time. But so even as we find ourselves reaching the cavernous depths of rock bottom, we need to remember that the only direction we can go is up. We need to constantly remind ourselves that is the case. And I'm serious. Say it to yourself out loud multiple times a day. There's nowhere to go but up. Because really, what you choose to think about is a zero-sum game. If I were to spend 25 minutes thinking about cherries, I then have 25 fewer minutes to think about grapes. You choose what you engage with. And so in the way that we can choose to engage with pessimism and cynicism, panic and chaos, anger and bitterness, we can also choose hope and joy. We can choose kindness and optimism. We can choose gratitude and focused, centered calm. And I don't know about you guys, but I choose to choose calm. I choose to choose hope. I choose to choose optimism. And the thing about optimism is that it's not blind, ignorant confidence. Optimism is not saying to yourself that, oh, nothing is wrong and there will never, ever be anything to worry about ever. Optimism is taking note of the plethora of things that are indeed wrong and still choosing to believe that it's going to be okay. Still having the audacity to believe that things will be all right. Because you know what? They will be. It will be okay. And so, our problems are obviously not going to disappear as soon as we just take a deep breath. They will, of course, still be there. But we will never be able to solve our problems if we're dedicating 60% of our energy every single day to panicking. Take a step back, collect yourself, and come back ready to focus on and potentially actually solve the problem. No one is doing anyone else any favors by panicking all the time, by being freaked out all the time. Imagine for a second that you're up late working on a complex group project the night before it's due. That's obviously a stressful scenario that I think we've all been in, but imagine how much harder it would be to finish the assignment if one of the people in the group was saying like, oh my God, man, I am freaking out. I am freaking out. We are never going to get this done on time. It's not going to happen. Oh my God, we can't do it. We're going to fail the project and then flunk the class and have to drop out of school and live under a bridge until we freeze to death on Christmas Eve alone 3 years from now. Oh my God, we are so screwed. Oh, I'm so scared. I can't even pick up a glue stick to help you guys. Panicking does not help anyone. Calm the fuck down. It is so important that we stay calm. For the sake of our physical and mental and spiritual well-being, we have to stay calm. For the sake of societal progress, the collective progress of society, we have to stay calm. For the sake of democracy and freedom, we have to stay calm. And so as I wind this down, I'm going to leave you with one of the best pieces of advice I have ever read. I believe it's some Eastern wisdom, but that could be untrue. But it goes as follows. Don't try to calm the storm. Calm yourself, and the storm will pass. Anyway, Thank you all very much for watching this. It's nice to be back making regular videos, even though the wine calendar was obviously a lot of fun. I will see you all sometime next week. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Those all really help me out a lot in different ways. They help out this channel. And remember, there is nowhere to go but up. Have a great night. Thank you.